If you're here, a woman disrespected you, and you did what most men do. You argued, begged, explained yourself like a customer at the complaint desk. She walked away with more power. You walked away with less self-respect. You're not trying to communicate. You're trying to figure out how to make her feel what she made you feel, without screaming, without crying, and without looking like a clown. Good. Now we can talk. Understand something ugly and simple. Women don't lose respect because you're too nice. They lose respect because you're powerless. You react. You over-explain. You try to negotiate your value after she's already decided it's low. Disrespect is not an accident. It's a test, a probe. She's asking, how far can I move the line before he folds? Your answer determines whether she sees you as a man she submits to, a man she plays with, or a man she uses, then forgets. Punishment in this context is not screaming, not hitting, not degrading. That's amateur. That's emotionally weak, and it always backfires. Real punishment is subtraction. You withdraw attention, comfort, access, certainty. You make her feel the cold she created in you. Humans are loss-averse. Behavioral research by Kahneman and Tversky showed people experience the pain of loss about twice as strongly as the pleasure of equivalent gain. In relationships, that means taking something away hits far harder than giving something extra. Flowers, compliments, reassurance, all cheap. Silence and distance from a man she actually wants? That's expensive. Most of you are terrified to do this because you're secretly dependent on her validation. She rolls her eyes, flirts with other guys in front of you, talks slick, and instead of walking away, you escalate effort. You buy, you prove, you debate. She just learned one thing. I can spit on this man and he'll still show up. Why would she stop? If she's smart and ruthless, and some women are impressive in this way, she will calibrate. Just enough disrespect to keep you insecure, just enough sweetness to keep you hooked. That's not romance. That's training. So how do you punish disrespect? You don't perform. You disappear. You stop rewarding bad behavior with more engagement. You don't educate her. She's not stupid. She knew that message, that tone, that move would sting. She's studying your reactions like a scientist. The more emotional data you give her, the more precisely she can control you. Stop feeding the experiment. The most devastating response to disrespect is composed indifference plus changed behavior. Not dramatic, not loud, cold. She crosses a line, you clock it internally, and from that moment, she no longer gets the same version of you. You don't announce this. Announcements are for men who need applause. You just reduce access. You're harder to reach. You're less available. You stop giving her your emotional labor. You don't chase. You don't ask, are you mad? Did I do something? You let her feel the drop in temperature and wonder what changed. If she brings it up, you don't turn into therapist or victim. You don't whine. You disrespected me. You just calmly state what you will and won't tolerate. Once, like policy, not like plea. Then you enforce it by your actions. If she minimizes, jokes, or gaslights, you don't argue reality with her. You simply move further away. The punishment is losing influence over you. Some women will test harder when they feel you pulling back. They'll provoke more, try to hook your ego, maybe throw in jealousy, maybe flirt with other men where you can see it. That's where most of you fold. You take the bait. You rage. You chase. You try to win against other men. Congratulations. She owns your nervous system. You think you're fighting for her. You're actually competing to be her favorite puppet. Punishment only works if you're willing to lose her. That's the part nobody wants to hear. If your entire self-worth is tied to this woman, you will never be able to enforce consequences. You will bark and never bite. She will sense this, and your words will become background noise. The paradox is this: the moment you genuinely accept that you're fine without her, your presence becomes more valuable. Not because you act alpha, but because you're not negotiable about your dignity. Here's your homework. Take one situation where a woman disrespected you in the past, talking crazy to you in public, flirting with other men in your face, disappearing, and then coming back like nothing happened. Write down exactly how you reacted. Every text, every call, every attempt to get her to understand. Then, on the same page, write how a man who is willing to lose her would have responded. Less talking, more distance, maybe even ending it quietly. Feel the difference in energy. One is a boy begging the judge for mercy. The other is the judge. Second part. Right now there is probably at least one woman in your life giving you low-level disrespect. Slow replies but fast posts. Talking wild when she's moody. Playing inconsistent. For the next 7 days, do not confront her with emotional paragraphs. Instead, calibrate your access. Reply slower. Say less. Stop giving her top priority. Let her feel the gap. Watch what she does. If she chases, you know she cares about your presence. Now, you can set standards calmly. If she doesn't chase and just drifts, then you punished her the best way possible. You removed yourself from a game that was already rigged. If you liked this breakdown and it stung a little, good. That means I hit the nerve that needed to be hit. Subscribe so you don't go back to being a volunteer victim in a game you don't even understand. In the comments, tell me the most disrespectful thing a woman has ever done to you that you let slide, and how, after watching this, you would handle it differently now.